Hello, second grade. Guess what? I'm not here today, but I still have a challenge for you, and I still have teaching and learning for you. So the substitute who's there is going to help you with this after you see me teaching it on the video. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Here it is, share. I'm going to the beginning. I'm going to make it big. Hello, slideshow. Okay. So the challenge today is going to be about a flood barrier and also remembering things that we learned about when we learned about materials. Remember how we learned about materials earlier this year? Well, we're going to combine rivers and materials in a challenge today. So I'm not here today. I'm at the dentist. So you're going to be doing this without me. So here's the challenge. It has to do with rivers. We've been looking at rivers and also materials. So today is Tuesday. I'm making this plan for you a couple days in advance. And outside right now, it is raining so much. So you guys are going to be doing this on Thursday. So if you remember 2 days ago when it was raining so hard, that's what's happening right now. It's raining. So where does all this water go? It's raining, it's making puddles, but where does it really go? Well, gravity is going to pull it eventually into the rivers. Remember how we talked about rivers start up in the mountains and gravity pulls the water down? Remember we did the activity where we squirted the paper mountains with water and we realized that the water flows down the mountains into the middle of the mountains to make a river? Well, all this rain that we're getting is going to be pulled by gravity downhill. It doesn't feel downhill to us because it's just a little downhill, but it all gets pulled down into the rivers, and all of the rivers will join up. They will meet up with, in our area, the Potomac, and it will eventually go to the ocean. When there's a lot of rain, the place where the river is can't hold it all. It begins to flood. So a river flooding is when there's lots of rain or the snow high up in mountains melts really fast. But for us, it's going to be lots of rain and it's flowing downhill with gravity and it's going toward the river. But the places that are downhill, the river places, don't have enough space to hold it. And it starts to flood. And that flooding water can sometimes really affect people. So when rivers rise with a flood, it can become either anywhere from dangerous to just annoying. But river flooding is a big deal. It can make driving hard. It can even wash away cars and houses. So if you can even see here, there are fish in the road because the river water is flooding into the road and the fish are just fish, so they think it's still the river. Here you can see where a river had washed a barn or a garage into a house. Water is very powerful. Even a small amount of water can be very powerful. And floodwaters can be very powerful. So sometimes people build things to protect our houses, especially against flooding. So here are some strategies that different engineers used to protect houses from strategies. I'm going to ask the teacher to pause the video here and talk with you in real life about each one of these different strategies that engineers use to protect from river flooding. Pause me. Okay, we're back. I hope you guys had some great discussions about how engineers built things to protect houses from floods. Now I want you to think about these materials. Pretty soon, you're going to be building something to protect a person or an animal from a flood. I want you to think again about how these materials might help you build something to protect a person or an animal from a flood. So I'm going to let you pause this video again, and I want you to talk about each material. I want you to think about what it could do to help, but also why that material might be a challenge. So if you're thinking about a person or an animal, and you're thinking about the strategies you just saw from engineers, I want you to think about how you might use any of these materials, but what also might be difficult about that material. Okay, pause me. Okay, we're back. I hope you had a really good conversation about this. So you're going to get ready. You're going to get a plastic bowl. I should have one right here. A plastic bowl for you. Actually, let me grab it. You're going to get a plastic bowl like this and an animal or a person like this. And it's going to go in the middle. And you're going to think to yourself, what happens if I pour water in here? It's going to flood this person or animal. So I'm going to stop sharing so that you can take a better look at it. If this animal is down here and I were to pour water into it, it's going to flood. Oh no! But you're on, but there's too much water. So you're going to have these materials, and you and a partner are going to build something for your person or animal to protect it when the water comes. So before you get your materials, I want you to discuss a plan with your partner. Sketch it out on a blank piece of paper. So think about those materials that you're going to have. The teacher might be able to rewind and pause this part of the video with the pictures of those materials. And I want you to think how you might use them and sketch out a plan. Then I want you to build your flood protection system in your bowl. Then when you're done building it, have the teacher check it and ask you questions or give you feedback just to make sure that you think you're ready and that they think you're ready. When you're both ready, I want you to pour 1 plastic cup of water into the bowl to see if your protection system worked. Fair warning, you're probably only going to get 1 shot at this. Oftentimes we can adjust our plans after we try it, but once everything gets wet in your bowl, you're probably not going to get a chance to try it again. So I want you to really be ready for it when you do your water pouring. When it's over, keep the animal and the bowl. I want these pieces back. The rest you can throw out because they're going to be wet and yucky. So you can throw out everything else. Then when everybody's done and when everybody's cleaned up, I want you guys to reflect in a classroom discussion. I want you to talk about what worked, what didn't work, and did anything surprise you? Were you like, oh my gosh, I thought the paper towel was going to absorb all the water, but it didn't. Or you thought to yourself, I thought this was going to float, but it didn't float. So give me anything that you think was surprising. All right, good luck, civil engineers. A civil engineer is a type of engineer that builds buildings and bridges and roads and river protection systems. They build structures out in the world to help people move around and also protect from the elements. So good luck, civil engineers.